Jade Ashley, and once again you are tuned into a new video of When the Beat Drops. And like always, you know I'm here to give you my 5 hottest beats and music of this week, so you know you have to stay tuned for more. Okay guys, so let's just get started with this week's beats. And my first beat of this week, I was kind of skeptical on if I should do it or not, because you know, I felt like it might be a little bit too soon, but I'm like, hey, you gotta strike while the iron is hot. So my first beat of this week, I want to do, instead of doing like album reviews, I'll just give album first reactions. And the 2 albums that I am talking about is Janet Jackson's new album Unbreakable and Tamar's new album Calling All Lovers, which came out today. And I was like skeptical only for the simple fact that technically I have not had these entire albums for a full 24 hours. I've only had them since 12 a.m. early this morning, but I have been listening to them ever since then. So I felt like instead of like giving like a whole review of the album, I felt like maybe I should just give you guys my first reactions of the album, tell you how I feel about them, tell you what they sound like to me, tell you which songs are my favorite as of right now. And what you guys can do actually is you can comment below and let me know if you guys want like a full album review like next week, once that, you know, sales are in and we find out who's number 1, who's number 2, and you know, I can give like a full thorough, you know, album review, because then by then I would have listened to it at least 300 more times each, and I'll definitely be more familiar with like each single. But for right now, I know a lot of people have been like hitting me and saying to me, oh, I cannot wait to see your review on this and that. And I didn't want to keep everybody waiting a whole week, because by next week, Friday, like, they're gonna be like, yeah, these albums are a week old. So I was like, I'm just gonna do, you know, first reactions. You know, I took some notes and stuff like that as I gathered my thoughts, constantly like listening to the music. So I'm just gonna dive into my first album thoughts, I guess you can call it, something like that. So the first album that I want to talk about is Janet Jackson's new album, Unbreakable. And all summer I have been letting you guys, like, you know, I've been saying, look, when the album comes out, I'm going to buy it and I'm going to tell y'all what I think about it. Like, everything about Janet Jackson concerning her comeback, I talked about it. So it's all leading up to this moment right here. So let me get into it. And right off the top of my head, before I even get into my notes, I will say, when you get this album, like when you listen to it, I think it's best that you are aware of your Janet Jackson history. And what I mean is, you have to be aware of Janet Jackson's sound. You have to know Janet Jackson's classic hits and stuff like that to appreciate this body of work that she has presented to us on this day, October 2nd, 2015. And I got like a vibe of like, oh, Janet. I will say this entire album from start to finish, it just gives me like good vibes. Like I had like a good vibe type of thing. And you know, Janet, she's like very big pop wise, so you know, I like that she stuck to her classic sound, because you know, a lot of artists like from, you know, back then, like they could release new music and some of them, they take the initiative of trying to change up their sound to, you know, kind of relate to today's audience, relate to like the younger generation. But Janet, she is the originator, she is the trendsetter. The Beyoncés and the Rihannas and the Sierras, definitely the Sierras, they were all inspired by Janet. So Janet knew for a fact that she did not have to change anything about her style. She just stayed herself, because she knows that without her there is no them. So she gave me this feeling, like I just felt like classic Janet. I felt that with all of these songs on this album, they fit perfectly with her catalog. Like, for those who've experienced her on tour, or who will experience her on her Unbreakable tour, like when they hear these songs from the album, they mesh well together and they flow very well together with the classic Janet Jackson hits. So I will say that. And Janet, her voice is so cute. You know, the Jacksons, they all got that distinctive type of look, and then they all got that distinctive type of sound. The only Jacksons I know that don't have that distinctive type of sound is the originators, which is Catherine and Joe. Like, Catherine and Joe, they don't sound like they kids when the kids talk, but you know, they all got like that high-pitched voice. So like, Janet, her voice is like so cute. Like, I just loved it. So I'm gonna get into the notes that I wrote down as far as my initial thoughts while listening to the album. So the first note I have is I talk about how I love the opening track, which is the title track to the album, Unbreakable. And Unbreakable was something that I heard prior to the album's release, because you know there's been singles here and there, you know, that would drop and stuff like that. So Unbreakable I felt was a great introduction. She's like she does like talking on both the first track and then the second track, so she is like a real introduction of an album. She says hello, it's been a while, but you know she does it in her Janet voice. She's like, hello, it's been a while, welcome back, let's get into it. Like, y'all feel me? Y'all know what I'm talking about. So I love the music for Unbreakable, the intro track. Like, it's like I said, good vibes. It just gives you like a good type of feeling. So definitely that's something that stuck out to me and something that's automatically one of my favorites within this first day. The next track I want to talk about is her song Burn It Up, and that features Missy Elliott. She only has 2 features on this album, and the first feature is Missy Elliott, and Missy Elliott is more like that up-tempo pop type of, you know, how Janet be, you know, dancing and all of this and that, like that classic Janet. Like, I feel that I haven't seen her show. I heard of a clip of her performing Burn It Up on the Unbreakable tour, but I did not see it. But when I listen to Burn It Up featuring Missy Elliott, the first thing that pops in my mind is her song Feedback from her album Discipline. Now, I'm not saying that it sounds like Feedback, but you know, just the whole vibe, how the music sounds, and me envisioning Janet perform to that song, Burn It Up is giving me the 2015 version of Feedback, which is cool, because you know Janet, she still got the moves. I saw a couple of, you know, concert footage, you know, from when the tour started. So, you know, I thought that was pretty cool. The next note that I have is she has a song called Damn Baby, and I like this song. Like I tell you, like, it's a real good type of feeling type of album, and you know, very pop. She does pop very, very well. I feel like we always talk about, oh, R&B is falling off, hip-hop is falling off, but I don't think you acknowledge the fact that, you know, the pop genre kind of, you know, lost its way a little as well. And I feel like by her sticking to her classic Janet, she's bringing the epitome of what pop music used to be back then, and bringing like a newer version of it, or an updated version of it in 2015 with the new music. But in her song Damn Baby, one reason why that song sticks out to me is because towards the end of this track there's like a breakdown. So like the music kind of calms down, there's like a breakdown, and it starts like slowing down. And if, like I said, if you know your Janet Jackson history, you know her song I Get So Lonely. I think that's featuring like Blackstreet. I get so lonely, yeah. And in that song she goes, I'ma break it down, break it down. I'ma break it down, break it down. Y'all know I can't sing, but she took the I'ma break it down part that she did in I Get So Lonely years ago, and she put it in the Damn Baby song. So like that kind of got me hyped when I was listening, because she was like, I'ma break it down, break it down. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, Janet, yes. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me in 2015. Thank you. So I love that part. And then I forgot what song it was, and I should have wrote it down. But she talked about Pleasure Principle. Like, she's Janet knows she a legend, man. She know. Alright, so the next note that I have is, I said at some point in time, like, I was getting a Michael Jackson type of vibe. Now I said we all know the Jacksons, they look alike, they sound alike, but usually you would know Michael from Janet and stuff like that. They of course collaborated on songs and stuff, but her song, what's the name of the song? The Great Forever. When I was listening to it, I felt for a second that I was listening to Michael. So that kind of only made me wonder, while she was recording this album, like, did she, like, was his spirit speaking to her? Did she feel his presence while she was recording? Because you know how he would have like that what's the word that I'm looking for? In some of Michael Jackson's songs, he would have like that edge. Like some of the songs he would sing, like he would have his soft songs, we know, but certain songs like How You Make Me Feel, like when he's singing that song and it just like his voice just has like that softness but it's like that edge to it. That's how I felt she sounded in A Great Forever. And then when I was listening to it, I'm like, damn, she sounds like her brother, man. She sounds like her brother. And a part of me, it made me happy, because I was sitting here thinking, like, what if this is Michael's way of like singing through his sister? Like, I hope I'm not freaking nobody out, but like, what if this is Michael's way of like singing through his sister and singing to us from heaven or something like that? Like, I don't know, but like I said before, like 2-3 times already, this album just gives me good vibes. Like, I feel like if you just want to chill and you just want nothing but good vibes and you just want a clear atmosphere, I feel like this is an album that you could like bump to. And I was listening to the album and it's just like song after song after song after song. I'm like, damn, how many songs is on this album? Not that I was complaining about how like many songs, but it's just like good vibe after good vibe. You have your up-tempo songs and then you have your slower songs where she sounds like classic Janet. So, but definitely, if you guys get the album, you have to check out The Great Forever, and you have to tell me what you think about it. Tell me I'm not crazy, and tell me she does not sound like Michael to you, because she definitely sounds like him to me. So yeah, the next note that I have on here, I said she definitely sounds the same. Like, we know Janet, she is all different types of like vocal ranges and stuff like that. Now Janet, she was never like a powerhouse type of singer, but Janet is a performer, so she gives you singing, but she also gives you stage presence, she gives you dancing. So to me, I feel like Janet, she was able to preserve her voice like throughout these years. I feel like, I think it was like 7 years or something like that since she's released her last album. So a lot of the girls out here, you know, unless your name is Miss Patti LaBelle, their voices be a little bit shaky nowadays and they don't sound like how they used to sound back in the days. But Janet, I think with her voice being so light and so soft and so airy, you know, she still sounds like Janet. Because sometimes, you know, some of our favorite artists from the 90s and stuff like that, they come pop up in 2015 and start singing and you be like, oh girl, you sound different. But Janet, she still sounds like Janet. So that's one thing that I was like appreciative, and one thing that made me happy when listening to the album. You like, yeah, this is Janet. She's giving you classic Janet in 2015, like I said. So yeah, No Sleep. Now, we all know No Sleep. No Sleep was the very first single that she released off of this project. And when she released the music video, we was introduced to the remix featuring J. Cole. And if you guys did not see the video yet, but I'm sure you did, but if you didn't, you know, you can head over to my blog at www.jade-ashley94.blogspot.com. But I like the way that the albums was listed, like the order in which the albums was listed, because, you know, you have your mixtures of songs and then here comes the No Sleep remix featuring J. Cole. So then you get into that vibe and you listening and you just like, yes. And then when she be like, whole world, and he coming in and like his intro, just a little more, just a little more, just a little more, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like it was just so great. I found myself low-key twerking to No Sleep. Like, who does that? Well, I don't know, but like it was just, he set it off right. And J. Cole, him being the only rapper other than, well, Missy's a rapper as well, but Missy was more like the hype man on the song. But you know, the only artist from today's generation, from today's like music scene to be featured on Janet's comeback album, that says a lot about his stature as an artist, and I'm sure she like admires him and stuff like that. So it was cool. No Sleep, the remix, I'm sure we heard about it, but it fits so well with the good vibe type of feeling that I said that this album gives. So yeah, those are my right off the back thoughts of Janet Jackson's album Unbreakable. So like I said, you have to know your Janet history, you have to know the classics, you have to know the sound, you have to know her lane, and if you know it and you love it, then you'll definitely get that on this new album. Nothing but good vibes. So for day one, I'm loving it. Now I just can't wait to actually learn the new songs basically. So yes, so we are still in our first beat. I want to also give you guys my first thoughts on Tamar's new album, Calling All Lovers, and I had this one pre-ordered. So Tamar's album was pushed back 3 times. She was supposed to have her album come back, I think, like in May, and then from May it was supposed to come out in September, and then September it got pushed back to today, which is October 2nd. But needless to say, after all of the pushback dates, it's finally here, Calling All Lovers. And I am so proud of Tamar. Like I was saying on my Facebook, I was like, I know Tamar, she can be causing trouble here and there, but that does not take away from her talent. Like, she is so talented. And when I tell you that this girl was singing her face off, for her to be doing as much as she's doing, and for her to still give her music her all, and to still give us real R&B, and for her to give us like real vocals. Like, we know the Braxton sisters can sing, but you know, each of them, they have their own direction as far as like what type of music they want to do. But Tamar's like, no, I want to give y'all real soul, I want to give y'all real R&B, and she does exactly that. And I feel that Calling All Lovers is a great follow-up to Love and War. You know, the album she had before that, I don't even think I was born, but you know, to me, even though I know Love and War is not her first album, to this generation, Love and War is her first album. So I feel that Calling All Lovers is definitely an amazing follow-up to Love and War, because you kind of know that once you have this great first album, you know, people kind of look at you with that side eye, like, so when you come out with that next album, is it going to live up to or be better than the previous one? And I definitely feel like it was. So getting into my notes as far as like what I thought off the top of my head. So the first thing I have written down is that I don't like her song Angels and Demons, which sounds weird, and I had enough time to listen to the song to know the song before the entire album came out, and I can't tell you exactly why I don't like it. I just don't like it. I said to my friend Bria, I was like, I feel that I'm entitled to not like at least 1 or 2 songs on everyone's album, because if you go back to her song, her last album, Love and War, I don't like Tiptoe. I could sing Tiptoe and I could sing Angels and Demons, but it's just not, I don't really care for the song, to be honest. But Angels and Demons is the first song on the album, so, and she has a video to that as well. It gives you like a reggae type of feel. So I mean, I just don't like the first song, and that's just that. So yeah, but the second song on there is my song Catfish. Now, Catfish came out the day that the album was supposed to come out last month in September. So instead of the album coming out, we got the first single, or the second single, off of the album. And I love Catfish. Catfish, don't flex, don't flex, don't flex, don't flex, baby, don't flex. And basically in Catfish, she letting y'all know, I know the real you. Don't sit here and flex and act like a different person on social media. Don't front for the gram, babe, is what she basically said. So I love Catfish. It gives like this real 90s type of vibe, real good feeling. Love it, been singing it. If you follow me on Snapchat, you probably saw me singing it a couple of times or something like that. So I love it. Catfish, my song. Other than that, Simple Things, I like that song. Simple Things is another song that I like off the back. And basically what that song is about is, I don't need all the glitz and glam, I don't need all of this. And she says, I don't need the cars, I don't need the clothes, I don't need the rings, I just want the simple things from you. I just want us to love one another. And then she has like this dialogue part in the song where she's like, you know, we got a house, we got food, we got a phone so we could talk to each other, we got FaceTime so I could see where you at. And I was like, that is typical Tamar. No matter what, Tamar will always be Tamar. And I just started laughing. But other than that, like, she was singing her face off. Like, Tamar was taking you to church on this album. Like, we know Love and War talks about the ups and downs of the relationship, and it's kind of like the same thing, but I feel like it gives like a different vibe. I was watching her interview on Wendy Williams from, today's Friday, so that interview was yesterday on Thursday, and she basically said that Love and War was inspired by, you know, her and Vince's relationship. And she said this one, Calling All Lovers, is basically different, you know, obstacles and different experiences that she's had in previous relationships between her and, you know, Vince. So I mean, I love Simple Things though. Y'all have to listen to that song. Y'all have to listen to that song. Like, she's gonna be singing her face off, and then the music gonna come down, and she gonna have her little dialogue, and she gonna be sitting there talking, and she will have you dying. Other than that, a couple of other songs that I know for a fact that I like is her song Circles. Circles was the last single that was released before the album came out today, and she also sung that song. I think that was a song she sung on Wendy Williams. So another song, Sing Her Face Off. If I Don't Have You, which was the first single, I said I Love You, Love It. And then she has a song called SON, and SON is an acronym for Sex Over Nonsense. Basically, you know, instead of fighting, less, you know, sex over nonsense and stuff like that. But I just have to say, I'm in love with, you know, Calling All Lovers. Tamar did her thing, and I said to y'all that the last time I talked about Tamar, I talked about how she was, you know, joining Dancing with the Stars, and she's been killing Dancing with the Stars, you know, but I was just saying that my main concern for me was the music. I did not want the music to suffer. Unfortunately, after I said that, her album got pushed back, but the album is out. Here we are, and she definitely delivered. So you have to give credit when it's due, and she's gonna give y'all real singing. She's gonna give y'all real R&B. So if y'all want that, definitely pick up her new album, Calling All Lovers. So yes, I am approving Janet Jackson's new album, Unbreakable, and I am approving Tamar's new album, Calling All Lovers. Like I said, if you guys want like a more full thorough, even though I feel like this was kind of thorough enough, it wasn't every song that I talked about on the album. I just kind of pinpoint what stuck out to me right off the back within this first day. But if you guys want a full thorough album review on both albums, I guess you can comment below and let me know. Or if this was enough, then you know I ain't gotta do it. So yeah, moving on to my second beat of this week, I have to talk about Miss Nicki Minaj. For the second week in a row, she just has all the great news in the world. So it was revealed that Nicki Minaj, she will actually be starring in and producing in a new sitcom about her life. And I found that this was interesting. The sitcom will be appearing on ABC, and the show will be written by Kate Angelo, and Kate Angelo will also executive produce along with Nicki and Aaron Kaplan. And this is what Nicki Minaj had to say about the sitcom. She said, "This is one of the more unique adventures I've embarked on. I couldn't be more proud and excited to team up with an amazing group of people to give the world something really special." And I would say we all know, I would hope by now we all know, not everything about Nicki, but Nicki, she's been pretty much open about who she is. We all know that she is originally from Trinidad, and her family, they moved here. Her mom, her brothers, and her dad, they had moved here to New York, and they moved to Jamaica, Queens, and you know, that's basically where she grew up, and you know, that was her come up, and that's how, you know, until we got to the Nicki Minaj that we know today. And in my notes, I had kind of wrote down a couple of things that I'm looking forward to seeing within this television show, since it is like about her life. So if you guys are from the New York area, you probably are familiar with performing arts, like high schools and stuff like that. So I myself, I went to performing arts high school. My performing arts high school was in Brooklyn, where I live. So you know, we were kind of, performing arts high schools in New York aren't really too much in competition with one another, but we are aware of each other, and you always want your school to produce more talented people. So Nicki Minaj, she actually went to LaGuardia, which is known to be like one of the top performing arts high schools here in the city and stuff like that. So of course I want to see what Nicki was like in high school. If you guys have her latest album, The Pink Print, you know, she kind of revealed more personal things about her life. In the song All Things Go, she talked about being proposed to, I think like maybe 10 years ago. So I don't know who proposed to her. That might have been Safari. So that's something I would want to see on the show. She also revealed that she was pregnant at one point in time with her ex Aaron, and she said that her child that she was pregnant with would have been the same age as her brother, her younger brother. So, you know, I would want to see something like that on television. Like, it's a sitcom, so it's supposed to be funny. But I mean, you know, sitcoms, they have their serious moments. So I want to see some of the things that she's talked about in her music in person. And then I said, somebody definitely got to play Safari. She bet not leave Safari out of the show. I know they don't mess with each other right now. They like deuces. But he played a significant part. Like, he was with her, you know, from the bottom to the top, and they just stopped messing with each other just this year. So I feel like having somebody play his character is well needed, because we need to know, okay, what was the origins of your relationship and why y'all stayed together for so long, and you brought him along with you as you was making your way up. I also said I want to see like the old Nicki. I first found out about Nicki Minaj my freshman year of high school, and around that time, that's when she was a Harajuku Barbie. That's when she was doing the Beam Me Up Scotty. I love my favorite mixtape Nicki Minaj song is Warning. I'ma have to send her to her maker. So I want to see all of that. Like, I want to see all of it. And Nicki Minaj, she also she tweeted about, you know, starting this nationwide search for someone to play the younger version of her. Now, I'm in my 20s, but I think I could make myself look younger. So what I think I'm gonna do is, I think I'm gonna go down the block and I'm gonna hop on the train and I'm gonna go head over to Jamaica, Queens right quick. And, you know, when they start filming, maybe I could do a little audition and maybe I could be young Nicki. I think I look like her. No, I don't look like her. I don't look like her. But I think I could probably act like her. Y'all think maybe I could act like her? Maybe? Y'all think I could get the role? I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. The show is untitled, but I'm excited for Nicki Minaj. That is something I'm definitely interested in seeing. So once again, congratulations to Nicki Minaj. So yeah. Moving on to our third beat of this week, I have some more great news, and this has to do with Mr. Nasir, aka Nas Jones. He was honored with the W.E.B. Du Bois Medal at Harvard, which is actually the highest honor in the field of African American studies. And while receiving the award on stage, he said, "This is a light that I want on men. I hope that I can be a great role model for those kids. You can be more than a typical image rapper." And what I thought was pretty cool was that last year I had actually talked about it on here. His documentary Time is Illmatic, which kind of like highlighted the 20-year anniversary of his debut album Illmatic and the influence that it had did. And if I'm not mistaken, Harvard was the college that was featured in the film, because at the very end of the film we see him going to like a discussion panel to talk about the influence of hip-hop, and if I'm not mistaken, it was Harvard. So then, you know, fast forward a year later and he's, you know, receiving the highest honor in African American studies at Harvard. Like, that's just dope. Like, so congratulations to Nas. He's definitely like a New York rap legend, and just everything that he does is just like, I kind of feel bad because I think Nas is cute, and Nas is like the same age as my dad, and then Nas has a daughter and we're like the same age. Like, I feel like I'm gonna go to hell. But it's Nas, like I don't know. Like, shout out to Nas. Like, I'm excited for him. Like, you only get better with age. You only get better with age. Yes. So shout out to Nas once again. Moving on to my fourth beat of this week, I have some good news for you guys. So early 2000s music. Okay, if you follow me on Snapchat, you probably saw me this week. I was doing like this whole little throwback thing on my Snapchat. I don't know how it started, but I started playing all the old songs from back in the day, like early 2000s. And, you know, I was just in this real good mood. And one of the songs that I had played was a Ja Rule song. So we all know early 2000s, Murder Inc., you know, they was popping. You know, they had the New York, you know, music scene on lock. And Ashanti started coming up on Murder Inc. She was like the princess. They was labeling her like the princess of Murder Inc. They was labeling her as like princess of R&B, all of that stuff. And we all know that Ashanti and Ja Rule, when they got together and they created hits like Always On Time, Mesmerize, they just had hits. So, I came across an article earlier this week, and it was revealed from Billboard that Ja Rule said that him and Ashanti are working on new music, and they're working on a world tour, and they're working on a film. And I was like, what? Ja Rule and Ashanti 2015? Are you kidding me? So, the exact quote that he said was, "Me and Ashanti are about to go on a big world tour, and we're putting together a music and film project with the whole Natural Born Killers tour and EP." So that would be the name of the tour in the EP. He said it's kind of like Streets is Watching type of film. So I think that's cool. Like I want that good feeling in music to come back. So if they could give us like new music that gives us that good feeling from like the early 2000s, I'm here for it. Like, I'm not going to shoot it down. So aside from them performing their new music, you know, they could perform their old hits and everything. Like, it's just a win-win situation. So, you know, I'm here for the music. So there's no release date as far as like when they first single going to come out, when the EP is coming out. So far we just know that there's a tour, there's an album, and there's a movie that they've been working on, and it's coming really soon. So hopefully it's coming sooner than later. You know, it's kind of close towards the end of the year, so you know a lot of people want to jump off with new projects at the top of the year. So hopefully we could get like a first single from them. But other than that, before that even happens, Ja Rule and his family, they have a new reality show premiering on MTV on October 26th, which is called Following the Rules. And I think it'll be exciting to see. Like me, I kind of like those shows where, you know, these hardcore rappers that we've known for all this time, and to see them kind of falling into like the father role, the husband role, and watching them as a family man. So yeah, shout out to Ja Rule. If you're watching this, which you're probably not, can you bring down new music with you and Ashanti like now, like right now? Because I want to hear, I want to know what it sounded like. Okay, so thank you. So yes, so moving on to my last beat of this week, and this is actually a little short, but you know, I feel like it's worth mentioning. We all know that earlier this year, Jay-Z, he had launched his music streaming service Tidal, and there's been like a lot of controversy. A lot of people saying, oh, I don't want to pay for Tidal, or Tidal was whack. And then, you know, iTunes started like the whole, or Apple, I should say, Apple started like the whole Apple Music. So then it was like, oh my gosh, Apple Music is better than Tidal. And then it was just all of this. Like people, like he started this venture, and people was basically tearing him down for creating something, you know, for the people. And a lot of people thought it was gonna flop. I actually heard a rumor, and obviously with this beat that I'm reporting is not true, but a lot of people were saying that Tidal was such a flop that Jay-Z ended up selling it. But that is not the case. Jay-Z's actually surpassing the 1 millionth mark of subscribers. So he has more than 1 million subscribers on Tidal, and to celebrate, he's holding a concert here in my borough, my hometown, because you know we from Brooklyn, so yeah, he's having a concert at the Barclays Center on October 20th, and this one is called Tidal 1020, and basically it's in celebration of, you know, the success of Tidal, and also it's a charity concert. All the proceeds will be going to the New World Foundation, and which makes this like exciting, and what's been like the talk of the week is the lineup. The people that will be there. There's so many people that will be there, but you know, just to throw out some names, we got Beyonce, of course, like that's given, but who doesn't want to see Beyonce perform? We have Prince. How does Jay-Z pull Prince to come to Brooklyn to perform at Barclays? I don't know, but it's happening. Other than that, we have Nicki Minaj, of course. You know, she's from the New York area. She gotta come through. And she's one of the artists that's a part of Tidal. Usher, another artist that's a part of Tidal. T.I., Fabulous. No way he was not going to be there and perform when he's from Brooklyn. And then we have Lil Wayne, who's another artist who did a deal with Tidal over the summer. And so many, so many more people. So if you actually want to cop tickets, I think the tickets go on sale today. There was tickets that was available on Tidal's website earlier this week but the general admission tickets are on sale today. Today's Friday for a fact, and you can go to Ticketmaster to purchase them. And if you're not in the New York area to actually go to the concert, you can stream it on Tidal. Of course, you know Tidal, they stream everything dealing with their, you know, their artists, their companies, and all of that. So you can actually stream it on Tidal, and even if you're not a Tidal subscriber, you can still watch it on Tidal. So I think that's pretty dope. 9 times out of 10, even though I'm like 15-20 minutes away from the Barclays Center, probably not even 20 minutes, depending on if you get on the train though. So if you get on the train, you get there faster, and then like the train is kind of like set up to the Barclays Center, so like you can get out the train and you be like smack dead right in front of the Barclays Center. But if you driving, you know, if you're driving down like Flatbush or Atlantic and stuff like that, it could be like backed up traffic, but it's cool though. But I'm not that far is what I'm trying to say. And I don't even know if I'll be there. Like, I don't have nobody to go with. I want to go. So it's like, but I could go inside my room if I stream it on my computer. I don't know, but yeah. So if you guys want to go, or if you guys want to watch it, I just wanted to let y'all know, because that's definitely going to be one of the biggest concerts ending off this year. So yeah, shout out to Tidal, shout out to Jay-Z, shout out to Prince, Usher, Nicki, everybody that's going to be there. And those are my 5 hot beats of this week. Okay guys, so you know I have to end every video by thanking you for tuning into this week's video. And of course I have to remind you guys to comment on my videos, like my videos, subscribe to my channel, and share my videos with others. It would greatly be appreciated. And I have one note to leave you guys with this week, and it might be a little bit too late, but it might benefit next week's video. So there is a new Jackson, you know, type of reality show coming on television, and it's actually coming on in like the next 10 minutes. So I'm trying to, you know, get through this. But yeah, there is a new reality show called The Jacksons, The Next Generation, which focuses on the 3rd generation of Jacksons, and particularly it focuses on the sons of Tito Jackson, his sons Taj, Terrell, and TJ, and they just happen to be a group called 3T or something like that. So they have their own reality show coming on Lifetime, and it's about to be 10 p.m. So the show comes on Fridays at 10 p.m. on Lifetime. So I just want you guys to know about that. So maybe you can catch a repeat of the first episode, and maybe next week I'll talk about the first episode as a beat. So be on the lookout for that. And also I have to leave you guys with my song of the week, of course, and I want my song of the week to be Tamar's song Catfish. I wanted it to be the song of the week 2 weeks ago, but then I didn't do a video 2 weeks ago, so I kind of missed out on it. But I still felt like it was more convenient to make it my song of the week because the album is out, and I want you guys to cop her new album, Calling All Lovers. So with that being said, my song of the week is Tamar's song Catfish off of her latest album, Calling All Lovers. And if you want to check out the song in its entirety, you can actually head over to my blog at www.jade-ashley94.blogspot.com. Y'all know the deal. And it'll also be linked below. And yeah, once again, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time. So bye. Hey guys, thank you for watching, and don't forget to share and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.